Good morning and welcome to Breakthrough Walls. I'm Ken Walls and I am your host, and I have my really good friend, amazing rock star, Lisa Copeland on with us today. Lisa, welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show.
Hi, Ken. Thanks for having me. How do you like my hair today? It's a Monday for me.
It's looking pretty fierce.
It's looking pretty fierce. And, when you got 29 car dealers, it's the end. We're coming into the end of the month, and I stay on the phone all day today consulting. So
I know you're a rock star. So as you know, this show's about helping people have a breakthrough.
Yeah.
And you are the queen of helping people have a breakthrough. So
You think?
I think you're pretty good. Yeah, yeah. I love, you and I have, Sherry Matthews on here. She said, love you both. We love you too, Sherry. She's
Well,
awesome.
Sherry's finally back in town, Ken. She's been traveling. She's been up in Canada celebrating her mom's 82nd birthday. And this is how amazing she is to our tribe. In Austin, we have incredible flooding going on. So now they're telling us we have to boil our water. So several people didn't answer the group text quickly. And so she's like, for those of you that are too busy to answer this text, boil your water. So she is totally mama bear.
She is awesome. Yeah. So, I know that you have a lot going on. You've become, you're a client of mine, but you've also become just an unbelievable friend. I think we talk at least twice a day.
Yes, probably.
Like.
I would say so.
Yeah.
And 3 when I am really drowning.
You always crack me up.
I'm like, what do you mean there's an iMac update? Shoot me now. I haven't even learned how to use iMac yet.
Oh my gosh. So I wanted to have you come on and we're not going to be on long today, just so everybody knows, but I wanted to talk about again, I've known you now for, I don't know, a couple of years or year, really well, probably for a year. And I've seen you go through some hills and valleys and ups and downs and ins and outs. And I think, like, you're just a freaking beast. I don't know how else to say it. Like, you just, like, you're like, no, I'm pushing through this and I'm going to figure it out, and you go. And so
Yeah.
I want to kind of talk about what you've recently started doing that is mind blowing. I still have yet. I think no, I caught one of them live. but let's talk a little bit about what you're up to right now.
Well, so I know what you're talking about, because you're talking about my 15 minutes of fierce with Lisa Copeland every morning. And I did it for 2 reasons. So I'll be really transparent with everybody. 2 reasons. Number 1 is that I've got an insane amount of stuff going on in the next 12 months between my new book deal, my literary agents, my speaking. It's just totally blown up, big. We're working on a television show, an automotive show, which will be on after Face the Nation. So that's kind of a big deal. And I'm meeting on that in November. I've got so much going on, but it's like, there's so much to do when you're trying to plan all of that. And so it was like, I said, okay, if you want to be successful, you've got to get up earlier in the morning. I talk about that from stages, TV, everywhere. So I started getting up at 5, and then I started doing all this work, kind of laying out every day what I would do to take myself to the next level, myself, not my business. My business is great, but just to take me personally. Because when you're a writer and when you're a speaker like I am, you're always having to come up with content, right? Sometimes the same audience will see me maybe, or the same company, and people pay me to regurgitate and create and regurgitate, content. And so I made the decision, along with my literary agent, made the decision that we'd start a daily show, because it would do 2 things. It would build my audience, which I love to do, but it would hold me accountable to create the level of content and thought leadership materials that I have to create doing what I do for a living. And this is what I signed up for. This is what I wanted to do, but I had no idea. I have such a new respect for the Grant Cardones and the Tony Robbins and all the people who do what I do at an even bigger level, and the amount of content that we have to create It's mind blowing. And if people knew the amount of research and reading and watching videos and all of that we do to formulate our ideas, our content, to be able to put them back to the universe.
It's a lot of
long
work.
Answer to a short question.
No, I love it because it's a lot of work. A lot of people out in the world, including me and including you, we've had conversations about Grant Cardone and how in God's name does he do everything that he does.
He gets up early.
He does.
He does.
Right. And he's a beast when it comes to content. So,
but content wins, Ken.
Does.
There's so many people who, they want to stick a video camera in front of their face and walk around and just talk about gibber. And that's fine. I think it's got its place. But to be truly considered a thought leader within your industry and to get paid the kind of money that I get paid to walk on a stage, I can't just get up there and wing it.
That's right.
I cannot. And so I had to develop out The Art of the Big Sell, which is my book, which will be out probably in January under a big publisher, to go out and have all these paid corporate speaking gigs. I've got to have something to say that matters. I've got to have something to say that's original. I've got to have something to say that will benefit my audience. I don't get paid the fees that I get paid just to go out there and go, hey, I'm here, I'm on stage. It just doesn't work like that. And so there might be people who are better at it than I am, but it gets down to I probably spend 3 to 4 hours a day just on content creation, reading books, listening to different thought leaders, talking to people like you, other thought leaders in the industry. Hey, I'm thinking about this. I'm going to create this course because I have so many corporate clients.
Right.
And then I've got my whole automotive business, which I work with manufacturers and car dealers on software services. And so I'm busy and, But my heart and my soul is to create content that benefits and makes the world a better place to live in, and it makes it easier for sales professionals to go out and crush it. I'm passionate about that. Like I'm passionate about anybody who sells anything in this world.
Sorry, you froze up there just for a second. But can you hear me still? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So one of the I helped you with that intro video, and you said you didn't put the time on there, and I said I intentionally left the time off just in case you get tired.
I know. I'm like, no.
And you said to me,
do it, man.
You said put the time in there. I'm committed, and I said, all right, we're on. And so I love your level of commitment. And it's at 6:45 Central Standard Time every morning, and you're going through, like, right now. Well, go ahead. You tell people what you're doing on that.
Well, I thought, if I'm going to do a show, number one, people are busy. And so I want to do it in 15 minutes. I want to do it for me, and I want to do it because I want to be able to, I'm very good at, I get paid to speak on a stage for an hour to an hour and a half. So I can take something this big and I can stretch it this long, but people don't have that kind of time. So, in fact, I've got it right here. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to go through the books because I think that, to be a thought leader, to be considered an influencer, a thought leader, you have to read. And there's so many people, but I do. I'm a very, very ferocious reader. I love to read. So the book that changed my life is Outwitting the Devil. I've read it. I'm on my 4th time. I've listened to it on audio a couple of times. It's fantastic. It's by Napoleon Hill, and it's edited and annotated by my very dear friend, Sharon Lecter. And she's the one who introduced me to Napoleon Hill's work. And she and I have done some work together with the Napoleon Hill Foundation on putting on some events for Think and Grow Rich for women. Mm-hmm. And I thought, okay, so the premise of the show would be 15 minutes, and it really is a summary of what I've studied since 5 o'clock in the morning that day. So I've got, people don't believe me. I mean, I put it up here. This is my everyday journal. And this is what I do. I journal every single day about what I'm reading about. And because I've got some really big keynotes coming up, I'm doing Fiat Chrysler Automobiles, FCA, in the Western region in November out in Las Vegas. It's going to be 600 car dealers. And they hired me to talk about the big sell, to build a movement, how to get out of your way, how to stop fear. And so I like to always be fresh with it, have it top of mind. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to take what I study for at least an hour, 2-3 hours a day, and I'm going to take it into 15 minutes so that it's consumable. so
Right.
that the people that are watching the show, they can consume it a little bit at a time. And so today's the 22nd. I started on October 10th. That's like, I know to the minute how long I've done this now. So today was show number 12. And I love it though. And the engagement is in shows building every single day. Because, everybody needs 15 minutes of something. I don't know that they need an hour of me every single morning,
Right.
but damn it, you need 15 minutes. Just saying.
I love it. At first I mean, you and I
Oh,
talked
you
about
tried
it.
to talk me out of it. You and
I
everyone
know.
else did.
I was like, you got to go longer than that. And you're like, nope, 15 minutes. And I love what you're doing. I just love it. And I think, well, I'm not changing my format because people get on here and tell their life story and it takes a little bit longer than 15 minutes.
It does.
But, so there is a place for it for sure. And I love what you're doing. In fact, I three-way called somebody in the other day with you that literally I'm talking to her and she's like, I gotta tell you, Lisa Copeland's show is like changing my life. It's rocking my world every single morning. And so I put her on a three-way call with you.
Yes.
It was
Ginger. And you know what? It just made my day because, and even people like us, we need people to tell us sometimes, because I was just telling you about something that had happened.
Yep.
And then you're like, you call me right back and you're like, you need to talk to this gal. It was just like, okay. And sometimes, you need confirmation from the stars and the heavens. And,
Yep.
I'm a big believer in that God confirms things when you need to hear it.
Yep.
And it's good. And I'll tell you, I think, again, I don't claim to be the everything for everybody,
Right.
but I'm so passionate to help entrepreneurs and people that are in sales, because I've spent a whole career in sales, whether I've sold insurance, skirts, cars, mortgages. Everything I've ever done, it revolves around selling something. But the common denominator to that is it's me. And so I teach salespeople and audiences, the best thing you can be is the best version of you. And then if you're the best version of you, people are going to buy what you're selling.
Right.
I don't teach, closing techniques. I'm a damn good closer, but I don't teach how I do it, because that's how I do it. But what I do teach people is how to be the best version of themselves, and then really to learn how to read other people.
Yeah.
And the reading of the person sitting across from your desk is much more valuable than having some slick closing presentation. It's understanding what their fears are, what's blocking them, why they're not signing on the dotted line today. So, I've made a career of doing that, and it's worked out okay.
I love that. And I've actually used that personally, where I just go, look, if everything were perfect, you and I both know you'd be signing up with me. So tell me if you would. And I'm okay. I know you're not doing business with me, but just to help me in the future, could you just tell me where the deal went sideways? Well,
and those people, Ken, you need to have call me so that I can say, what do you mean you're not doing business with them? Look at LisaCopeland.com. Look at this freaking Mac computer I've got sitting on my desk.com. Anyways, but but there is a barrier in sales, and it's two things. Either they don't have the money, but you know what? If you want something bad enough, you'll find the money. And especially if it's something like a service like yours. My website was not cheap, but it gets down to, at the end of the day, my website makes money. So where is the ROI in that service?
Right.
Number two, it's that you haven't answered a question. It's one-on-one sales, or it's fear. It's like they think, well, it might work for Lisa, and that's great, but I invest all this money, and then what if nobody goes to my website?
Right.
So that's nothing I think that you can break through. That's where they need to break through and believe to their soul that what they do matters, and why they do what they do. I've got hundreds and thousands of dollars invested in the Lisa Copeland brand, between the merchandise, everything.
Yep.
It's insane. The media companies, all of it, right? But that's what it takes to build a celebrity speaking, whatever you look at, brand. It's not for sissies.
Right. It's not.
And then we got to be able to hire people like you to be able to build out our all of our platforms. I've got a huge platform getting ready to launch, which you know about, for Fierce. And it's not cheap.
Right.
But it's damn good. And if people get involved with it, then it's going to change their life. It's going to change their business. But you and I we can't make people decide to take the Nestle plunge.
Right.
They have to decide that they're ready. They're ready to do the work.
Yep.
And you can build the greatest website in the world, but if somebody's not willing to do the work, that means getting out and speaking and promoting it and talking about it, but most importantly, adding valuable content to it,
Yeah.
then they don't need to work with you.
Yeah.
It's a waste of your time and their money.
I agree. I think, what you're doing, and I didn't want this to be an ad for my services, but that's the way you are. You're just like, you're just such a giving and caring person. I think that's, I don't think I know that's why you're so successful at everything you touch. Like you care genuinely about other people. And I'm that way too. I genuinely care about other people and helping people. You're like that. Like you're always like, hey, like you did it the other day. And I think I picked up a new client the other day because of it. Like you're insane. Like you just constantly are. And I love that. I love it. So,
it comes to me naturally because I don't do things I don't believe in. And so it's worked really well in my career. That's why, I was a car dealer calling me as we got on. I said, I've got to call you back. But that's why I do business, because they know that when I tell them something, we're going to make it happen. Hell or high water, right? The manufacturer make it happen.
You broke up there at the end. But
oh no, just the fact that you have to have belief in what you're doing, and you have to believe that fundamentally what you do matters.
Yep, I agree.
And that's why. And I'm going to give a plug for my private Facebook group, Big Sellers Mastermind.
Definitely
go out and join it. And we've got 2,300 people now that have come in the last 2 months. And I said, this is a mastermind. It's not a club, and it's not a venting place. It's a place where we add value to each other.
Yeah.
Right? If you are somebody who sells, I don't care what you sell, cars or real estate or licorice sticks, it doesn't matter. And you want to get involved with a group that you add value to and that you help others get better at what they do, that's what Big Sellers is.
Yes.
And I have the privilege of leading that group. And my goal is that we get to 10,000 by the end of this year. So I'm promoting it heavily, but it's a game changer. And I've had people tell me, Lisa, there was one snippet I picked up from Betty Sue Anderson, and I went and I used it, and it's working, or something you might have said. And so,
Yeah. I think I was one
by ourselves.
I was one of the first members of the group, and to watch it grow the way that it has is like, and they're honestly, and I'm a member of a lot of groups. I'm a member of Sharon Lecter's group, as are you. I'm a member of your group. And then, I've had, I don't even know how many people automatically add me to groups. Don't do that, by the way. But anyway, so yours, I think, and maybe Sharon's are a couple of I go into every group that I get added to and I turn off notifications. It drives me insane otherwise. So yours, though, I don't have notifications turned off. Sharon's, I don't either. But
and I mean and Sharon's a member of my group. I've got some of the top people in the nation, thought leaders. Sharon Lecter, Bob Berg. You name it, they're in my group. And I didn't add them; they added themselves.
Right.
And Sean Thomas just came on, my good friend with Ask a Millionaire. He's got 1.4 million followers on Instagram, and he added himself. And so I can go on and on. It's because success breeds success.
It does. And your group's amazing. I mean,
thanks.
I'm saying
I love my group.
It just
I love my people.
There's a lot of great content. I don't really put any content in there. I have, I think, a couple of times, but I think that you and a lot of people put some amazing content in there. So,
because there's a lot of content that I don't think it's appropriate for my personal Facebook page. And, I've got a verified business Facebook page, got the check and the whole bit. It doesn't get crap for engagement.
Right.
So that's why I started the group, because I don't want to blow up my personal Facebook with people that want to see my grandkids.
Right.
And my one that I'm verified on gets 4 likes. It's just not.
Right.
So I have a group, and the people that want to hear from me and my people, then they'll be there.
Yep.
And the people that don't, well, you suck. No, I'm just kidding. I'm really not kidding. Yes, no.
Well, Lisa, we're at the 20-minute mark. I know we want to keep it
friend.
around 20 minutes. So thank you so much for coming on again. You are amazing. You're one of my favorite humans on the planet. and
Thank
Jill and I both
I
love
love
you.
your wife. She's a creative genius.
She really is.
She is.
It's
Yes. And
crazy.
you're the
So
salesman and you are the one who like a strategist, but she is the creative. She's a brilliant woman.
she's very
So anyways,
brilliant.
I love working with you guys. And for those of you out there that are not working with Ken and Jill, big mistake.
Here she goes.
Hey, I'm a
Oh
car
my.
salesman. I can sell anything.
Lisa, you're awesome. We love you. Thank you so much.
All right,
And
my
if
friend,
you're
thank
not
you.
a member of the Big Sellers Mastermind group with Lisa and me and a lot of other people,
2,300 other rock stars on this universe, but I want to get to 10,000. But most importantly, get on 6:45 Central, 7:45 Eastern. 15 minutes of Fierce with Lisa Copeland. I promise you, it is hours of study condensed into 15 minutes. And I'm not even sure which book I'm going to do next because this book changed my life, but
yeah.
I've got an idea about what I think I might go to next.
When
And it's just,
where do people follow? Is it just on your private page?
no, it's on my public page.
Your public page.
No, I'm sorry. It is on my personal page, but I share it to the public so anybody can
Okay, yeah.
can sign up
Yeah, just
to watch it.
follow you, right?
Yeah, follow me. Follow
you.
me.
Yeah.
Yes,
Follow
you're invited.
Lisa.
Please follow. Please follow.
Look her up. Lisa Colgrove Copeland. Look
Yes.
her up and follow her for sure. So, listen,
All right.
thank you. I appreciate you being on. You rock.
Thanks, Ken. Take
All right.
care.
All right. We'll
Bye,
see
everybody.
you guys. Bye-bye.
See you at 6:45 in the morning.
That's right. See you later.
Bye.